Barbers of Reddit. What was your, oh shit, moment? My mom was cutting my hair when I was younger. Around 2nd grade. She was only using the razor at one point, without the thing that makes it a certain length. Towards the end, a piece of hair fell on my nose and made me sneeze. My head moved. And I ended up with a bald spot. I ended up having to get shaved completely bald to fix it, and she refused to give haircuts after that except for one time during COVID. My coworker at a salon was cutting a girl's hair and found lice. The girl's mom had left her for the trim and she had to wait for her mom in the lobby. We spent the next hour or so frantically cleaning around all of the other clients and stylists to sanitize the whole place top to bottom. When the mom came back and asked her why she didn't have her hair cut, she replied, "They found out. WHO brings their lice-ridden child to the salon." The barber my dad took us kids to growing up kept a plastic ear in a big glass jar of water. Told all the little kids, jokingly, that it was the ear of a little boy who wouldn't be still when getting a haircut, and he accidentally cut this kid's ear off. Said he was keeping it in formaldehyde to remind us all to be very still. It largely had the desired effect on the younger kids. Edit. Spelling. Edit. Thanks for the award, kind stranger. I'm no longer an award virgin. Brother of a barber who used to be a hair model. Back when I used to have a good head of hair. His instructor told a story during one of the shows about a mobster falling asleep during a shave. While shaving him, he accidentally cut off a mole. He said he kept on putting towels on him and then snuck across the street and hid in a bar watching through the window until the mobster left. Since he was only renting the chair in the shop, he grabbed all his stuff and found another place to work after he was sure the mobster was gone. Not me, but my mom, who is a hairdresser. Did you know that some hair dye chemicals don't play well together? Turns out the lady had used some sort of home hair dye chemical that basically has tiny bits of metal in it. She didn't mention. My mom goes to dye her hair and puts the professional dye on it. And the hair more or less starts melting as the dye reacts. Her hair was totally ruined. There was no saving it. Only thing to do was to just get the new dye off as fast as possible. She was pretty understanding about the whole situation though. Not a barber, but my cousin worked in a salon when I was a kid and I would hang out there a lot after school. One day she cut a guy's head pretty bad with the clippers. Lots of blood, but it wasn't too serious. This led to them dating and eventually getting married. My dad let me line myself up once. Fucked up. Decided to cut the whole thing off and go bald. The plus side to being black is that 99% of the time being bald looks fine. I guess I was part of the 1% that looks like a fucking Whopper malt ball. My entire life. My last name is Barber. Not a barber, but when I was waiting for my turn to get cut, one of the barbers stopped cutting another guy and ran to the toilet. Guess it was literally an oh shit moment. I got seated with another barber, thankfully. When I was a little kid and hid under the table with a pair of scissors to cut my own bangs. My mom screamed when she saw my work. I remember doing it by feel. Didn't even have a mirror. But I don't remember how it looked. Ironically, a few years later my mom tried to trim my bangs and she did a horrible job. I had to wear a hat for a while. I'm not a barber, but one time my mom cut my ear with the hair clippers and she freaked out whilst I was sat there wondering what the hell was going on until she shouted, "Get a tissue. We have blood loss. XD." I went to a barbershop where the barbers spoke very little English and somehow there was some sort of communication error between us and he ended up shaving my sideburns up to the top of my ear. Why did I read this thread before lunch? Damn it. Poor Gary though. Rest his soul. My mother is a barber. She was tasked with cutting my husband's hair for our wedding. The guard comb thing that goes on electric razor popped off while she was enthusiastically talking to me. She accidentally buzzed a zero on the back of his head. A zero is the shortest you can cut the hair without it being bald, I believe. We never told him and no pictures were taken of the back of his head. If I can help it, I'll be taking this to my grave. If not, he'll forgive me, but I'll feel bad still. When I suddenly have a heart attack before finishing my client's cut. One time I was doing clipper over comb to blend a client's haircut. And I sneezed unexpectedly. I made a hole on the side of his head. I turned him around and tried to blend it in the best I could, but the damage was done. My aunt was a barber in the 70s. One day during her shift a man came in and asked for a trim during the cut he just offed himself. My aunt got a bit of brain in her mouth. When I was a kid, the hairdresser nicked my brother's ear and it bled a bit. I'm pretty sure that was an oh shit moment for her. My brother didn't even care. Not barber was getting a haircut at a military barber. I wanted generic crew cut 1-inch top half-inch sides. Barber guy thought I liked my long-ass quarantine hair and did 2 inches top 1-inch side instead. Just in case. I liked it better longer. I checked cause I trust barber man's opinion on hair a bit. Too long I looked like Hitler. Asked for the original. Anyways, between the 2-inch to 1-inch conversion I heard him mutter, Jesus Christ. I break out into a cold sweat, but I couldn't find anything wrong with the cut after it ended. But seriously my guy, don't mutter the things. When I was like 5 I decided to steal the kitchen scissors. Give myself a haircut, and then hide the hair in a toy purse. Once I realized what I looked like, I went up to my mom and told her I needed to go get another haircut. You can imagine her reaction.